Hello everyone, I am Ashwini Saurabh Mehras from Department of Statistics, RBNB College, Srirampur. Today we will learn the concept of mode, which is the type of average. Let's see its definition. So mode is the observation having maximum frequency. So the observation which is repeated more times, then we call that observation as a mode. So basically we see the nature of distribution as it is smaller in the starting, then it reaches to its maxima, then it decreases slowly. So most of the times the nature of frequency distribution is like this. It is not exactly the bell shaped or symmetric, but the distribution is like this. Means the frequencies initially are very small, then they are going to increase and reaches to its maxima, and then they are going to decrease. So in that case, the mode is that point on the line X for which this curve attains its maxima. So this is the definition of mode. There are such situations where the mode is appropriate than arithmetic mean. So we have seen some demerits of arithmetic mean, and to overcome that demerits, such as it cannot be used for open-end classes, or it is affected by extreme values, or it is not calculated for qualitative data. So in that cases we cannot calculate arithmetic mean. So there it will be appropriate to use the type of average which is known as mode. There are such situations like suppose there are election of a political parties. Then the political party which is having maximum votes, that can be used as a representative. So in that case mode is more appropriate than other type of average. Also there is one more example, that is in experiment of titration. If suppose there are 3 observations or 3 reading, then that reading is chosen which is repeated more than one time. So in that case mode is more appropriate than other type of average. So let's see how to calculate mode for different data types. So the first is for ungrouped data. So this is case first. Suppose the observations are given like this. So here these are the given observations on variable x. Then we can observe that the observation 35 is repeated 3 times. So it has maximum frequency than other observation. So we call mode as a 35. So mode for this distribution will be 35. So we can see, we can give mode directly by inspection method without solving any formula here. Suppose the second case is grouped data. Suppose we are having the data like this. These are the x and the given frequencies are then here by just observation we can see that 11 number is repeated 21 times, 12 number is repeated 38 times, and similarly here 13, that is observation 13, is repeated 91 times. means this observation has maximum frequency here. So we can call this observation as our mode. So here the mode for given data will be 30. So in this way we can calculate mode for group data. Here this distribution is a discrete. Let's see what happens if the distribution is continuous. Means grouping is done with the help of classes. In that case, we have to use the pre-modal and post-modal frequencies to calculate mode. So here I have written one example. Here we have to first learn about the modal class. So modal class means that class which is having maximum frequency. So here we can see that this class 31 to 60 has maximum frequency out of this, which is 198. So we can call this class as a modal class. Means this class has a maximum frequency and our value of mode will definitely lie between 31 to 60. Here this is the modal class which is having maximum frequency. We call the class previous to it or preceding to it as a pre-modal class. So this is modal class. Then this is called pre-modal class. And the class which is succeeding to modal class is called post-modal class. And here we can obtain mode by joining these lines and the point of intersection. We draw a perpendicular on x-axis, then this point is our mode. In this way we can calculate our mode. So if the pre-modal class frequency is more than post-modal class frequency, then this mode will shift before this central line, or the post-modal class frequency is more than this pre-modal class frequency, then mode will shift to that side of mode or a center. Then the formula to calculate mode is given by L plus so this is the formula to calculate mode. Here L means lower limit of modal class, then Fm means frequency of modal class, then F1 is a frequency of pre-modal class, and finally F2 is frequency of post-modal class. Here one thing, that multiply by H. H is the class width. So here we should note that the class width for each class should be same. That is, for modal class, pre-modal class and post-modal class, the class width H should be same for all these three. So by using this formula we can calculate the mode of this type of example. So let's solve. So first we have to check whether the classes are exclusive type or not, and then we have to write it in the form of class boundaries. So here I am going to write class boundaries are 30 and below, means we can write below 30. Then here I can write 30.5 to 60.5, 60.5 to 90.5, so there are two open-end classes. Here I have written this in the form of class boundaries. Now the classes are of exclusive type and we can calculate the mode by our regular method. First, this is the modal class. So I am going to draw like this. This is modal class. So this should be FM, means frequency of modal class. This is F1, means frequency of pre-modal class, and this is F2, means frequency of post-modal class. So we will require all these three. Here we note that H means class width for all classes, which is 30. So H is 30 here. Now we will substitute all the values in the formula. So L means here 30.5, which is lower limit of modal class. Then FM is 198 minus 22 divided by 2 into 198 minus 22 minus 110 into 30. If we solve this, we will get our answer as a 50.5. So this is the example which is related to daily income and number of persons. So here we can say that the daily income is approximately, it has mode 50.5. So in this way we can calculate our mode for this data type, that is the data which is continuous. Here we should note that if the maximum frequency is repeated for 2 observations, then we can say that there are 2 modes for the given data set. And if one thing we have to note that this mode cannot be calculated if the maximum frequency is assigned at extreme classes. Means if the maximum frequency is for the beginning or at the end of the class, then we cannot calculate the pre-modal and post-modal classes. So in that case we cannot calculate mode. So this thing we should note. Then there are some methods to calculate mode, which is empirical method. Means mode is basically a type of average, and there are also 2 types of average, which is mean and median. So if mean and median of a distribution is known, then we can calculate mode by using this formula. This is mean minus mode equals to 3 times mean minus median. So this is the relation between mean, mode and median. If the distribution is symmetric, then obviously mean, mode, median seems to be equal. So by this relation we can calculate mode if mean and median of given of a distribution are given or they are known to us. Then the next method to calculate mode is by graphical method. So mode can be calculated using graph. that is using histogram. So if we draw histogram for the given data set, then we can calculate mode. Let's see by taking this example. So we will draw histogram for this data set and let's see how we can calculate its mode from a graph. So to draw histogram, we have to take these classes on x-axis. Then on y-axis we have to take the frequencies. So these are the frequencies I have taken on y-axis. I will draw now histogram. So for below 30, it is the frequencies are 22, 198, 110. Then I have drawn this. (95), 42 and 33. So for it is 22, then 30.5 to 60.5, it is maximum, that is 198, then it is 110, then 90.5 to it is 95, 42 and it is 33. So approximately I can draw. See, so here this is the maximum frequency of a class. So I will join these lines. Then at the center I will draw perpendicular on x-axis and this point is called mode. So we have just calculated it as 50.5. So you can draw this mode by using the proper scale. So you will get it 50.5. So in this way you can calculate mode from histogram. So there are certain merits and demerits of a mode. So it is easy to understand and easy to calculate. So this is first merit. Then second is it can be obtained for open-end classes. Just now we have seen the example with open-end classes. Then the next is it is not affected by extreme values. So it is calculated for both, that is qualitative and quantitative data. And finally, the merit is it can be shown graphically. So these are merits of mode. Now see the demerits. First of all, it is not appropriate for further mathematical analysis. This is the demerit for mode, and also it is not depend on all observations. and it is not rigidly defined like arithmetic mean. So these are some demerits of mode. Also one thing we should note that if there are two observations with maximum frequency, then its curve will look like approximately this. Means this distribution is called bimodal distribution, and in that case if we want the unique mode, then we use the method of grouping, which is not for your syllabus at BSc first year level. So this is all about to calculate mode. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed my lecture.